on the chase. Goodbye.
This afternoon, schools locked down over coronavirus fears as others implement stay-at-home learning plans. Crowds banned from local Anzac Day dawn services while the march is cancelled. Qantas in crisis mode, the airline makes major cuts. And empty shelves, elderly shoppers left disappointed.
This is 7 News Adelaide with Rosanna Mangiarelli.
Good afternoon. As the coronavirus crisis deepens, debate rages about whether to close schools across Adelaide. Some are going to extreme lengths to prepare, keeping thousands of students home, putting virtual classroom systems through their paces. Here's Mark Mooney.
While it's been business as usual here at Westminster so far, the school day is about to be turned on its head as staff and students prepare for the very real possibility of a forced closure. School captains Kane and Ruby are among almost 1,200 students who will work from home on Thursday and Friday as the school trials its virtual classroom system.
To assess our ability to deliver learning outcomes for our students online, should we be forced into a closure situation with a coronavirus outbreak.
While some teething problems are expected, it's hoped they'll be ironed out by Friday afternoon. Keen to ensure students stay focused, they'll have to wear their uniforms and stick to a timetable.
The school has made it very clear that this isn't a holiday.
It's going to be a little bit different, especially the circumstances of the virus are probably changing the whole way our Year 12 is going to look.
And this is what they're bracing for. Unley High was closed today as heavily clad cleaners moved in after a teacher was struck down with COVID-19 yesterday. Scotch College was also closed for cleaning after a student there tested positive, while Sacred Heart reopened after its first case. With more schools sure to follow, authorities are weighing up whether to extend the upcoming holidays.
One of the 4 areas of focus for the National Cabinet is schools. And I'm sure we'll be getting further updates during the week.
Universities are being hit hard too. Flinders and UniSA are suspending all face-to-face classes, while Adelaide Uni is moving online wherever possible. A number of other schools are running similar tests to Westminster before the end of the week. Following the 2-day trial, students will return here on Monday morning, unless, of course, there are any dramatic developments in the meantime.
And because of coronavirus, this year's Anzac Day march has been cancelled and dawn services will be held without members of the public. Jessica Adamson has more.
The decision was made at 7 last night. No Anzac Day march, no youth vigil and no cross of sacrifice service. The dawn service at the State Memorial will go ahead, but only with official guests.
This is a decision which is made with great regret. We know that this is a very solemn and important commemoration for the people who have served our nation.
It's just so sad that the nation's had to come to a stop and make these decisions.
130 RSL sub-branches across the state can hold dawn services with their members, but without the public to protect our veterans. It's hoped the City Dawn service will be televised.
This would have massively increased the risk to some of our most vulnerable older citizens, and this is exactly what we're trying to avoid, to slow the spread of this virus.
The racing industry's been hit hard. All meets from tomorrow night will be held without spectators. Even owners are asked to stay away. Clare and the Oakbank Easter Carnivals are included. Oakbank officials are working towards a Christmas event instead.
There is no doubt this is the biggest challenge this industry has faced since equine influenza. It's unprecedented and it's uncharted, and it is so fluid. We're dealing with it almost on an hourly basis at the moment.
And at the Festival Centre, the news is grim too. It will close from midnight tonight with all performances suspended. Adelaide won't see the School of Rock musical this year, but ticket holders will be refunded. We'll have the fallout from the latest cancellations at 6 tonight.
To breaking news now, and 2 more people have tested positive for coronavirus in South Australia. Elspeth Hussey is live with the details, and they'd both returned from overseas.
That's right, they had, Rosanna. We've just learnt these new details in the last few minutes. These 2 new patients, a man in his 30s who'd returned from Germany. The other is a man in his 60s who travelled to the United States. He had also had close contact with another confirmed case. It brings the total number of cases here in South Australia to 32. The Health Department says we have now run more than 10,000 tests. Let's take a listen.
The public health response at this point in time is going to be crucial in South Australia. The more that the public are able to understand and comply with these measures, the slower will be the transmission of the virus in the state.
I know we've just been talking to some of the people waiting to be tested here at the RAS dedicated clinic. Some have been here since 10:30 this morning. The demographic is very broad. Young families, tradies, fly-in, fly-out workers. We spoke to one man who works at a city food court. He's been told he can't return to work until he produces paperwork with a negative result. There's also a Jetstar flight attendant here. She was in Denpasar and has since developed a runny nose. She can't get home to Sydney before she's given the all clear. The wait time here around 2 to 5 hours, and that's just to get the swab taken. Back to you.
Thank you, Elle. A coronavirus testing clinic has opened at Mount Barker, the first of 3 in regional areas. It comes as nursing homes move to restrict visitors. Mike Smithson with the details.
Pop-up COVID-19 clinics are rapidly becoming a feature of our health landscape. There's a new one here today and 2 more tomorrow. The Premier paid a flying visit as the state faces arguably its most serious health and economic crisis ever.
What we're doing is slowing the spread of this virus.
As with the 5 other clinics, it's designed for those returning from overseas, and you'll need a doctor's referral.
I think this will relieve some of the pressure on our hospital, significantly so.
2 more drive-through testing clinics open tomorrow. Whyalla hospitals will operate from midday to 3 p.m. At Port Augusta, hours of operation will be from 1 to 3 p.m. At North Adelaide, if you don't like the gynaecology and obstetrics waiting rooms, you're in luck. Patients now have to wait in their cars until called. Aged care homes are severely restricted. Most allow 1 visitor at a time in residents' rooms only, and visiting hours are limited. Any outbreak could be catastrophic.
We know this with other outbreaks of infections, it'll take hold very quickly. So it's important that we do everything we can to actually prevent it getting a foothold.
Are people seeing reason with this?
Yeah, look, I think the general public and certainly our residents and families are really appreciative of the measures that are being taken.
And today, a moment where the Premier was caught off guard.
I didn't even know it was today.
So what was he unaware of? Stephen Marshall was elected to power exactly 2 years ago today, with exactly 2 years to run. But I guess he's distracted.
Elderly and disabled shoppers have faced empty shelves on the first morning of Woolworth's dedicated shopping hour. At Glenelg, dozens rushed in at 7 a.m. to find chicken and meat in scarce supply and only a few rolls of toilet paper left.
I wasn't able to get the dishwashing liquid I wanted or Domestos. It still wasn't available on the shelves.
It's a great idea, because that way it gives old people the chance to avoid all this panic and rushing and all this.
Didn't need too much, just a top up, so it all worked well.
Coles will begin its community shopping hour tomorrow morning. Finance Minister Matthias Cormann says the federal government is now weighing up economic rescue plans it would never have considered in the past. The government's thought to be within days of announcing a second wave of emergency measures to blunt the economic damage from the coronavirus pandemic. Tim Lester is in Canberra.
The Prime Minister arrived here this morning with the sense of an economic war room developing around his office in Canberra. The coronavirus picture has changed starkly in the 5 days since he announced that $17.6 billion of measures. So much so, key economic ministers are now planning to bolt profound new measures to the plan before it reaches Parliament next week.
Businesses will close, people will lose their jobs. We are looking at some pretty significant options that we would never have considered in the past. There might be opportunities to, job swap from areas that are badly impacted into areas where there is actually significant demand as we speak right now.
This as the government further promotes Australians visiting the doctor by phone or computer. This afternoon, the Health Minister has promised a vastly expanding array of specialist visits will be added to the claim list for those who want to Skype or FaceTime the doctor. The new National Cabinet meets tonight. It may well put a limit on the size of indoor gatherings. It may also settle the question of whether all older Australians above a certain age should self-isolate.
We have to protect them from the disease,
but we don't want to remove them from the most human of contact.
Already in isolation, the coronavirus positive Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton. He's tweeted this picture. Time away from federal cabinet seems to be agreeing with him.
The latest quarantine restrictions here and overseas have dealt a further blow to the airline industry, with Qantas announcing more savage cutbacks. Chris Marr has the details.
Well, the emptying of airport terminals of passengers by concerns about coronavirus has forced Qantas to cut deeper into services reductions that will take effect until at least the end of May. Now, the Qantas group has cut 90% of international flights in response to the collapse of world travel fueled by concerns of the coronavirus. It has upgraded its cuts to domestic flights from the 5% announced last week to now 60% of domestic aircraft journeys. These cuts are across both Qantas and Jetstar, amounting to 150 aircraft grounded. Exactly what flights are affected will be spelt out in coming days. Passengers who wish to cancel are being advised to register for credit vouchers. Transport workers' unions have written to the Prime Minister today, appealing for government support to protect jobs in the airline industry.
Yes, they will be asked to take unused leave. Unpaid leave will be also on the table.
Qantas says its airline freight business will not be affected by the cuts. In fact, it plans to use some passenger aircraft for freight journeys.
And the Australian share market has rallied against all odds following its worst plunge since 1987. The ASX was expected to drop again today after panic buying led to the Dow Jones wiping more than 13% off its value. But the local share market rebounded after Wall Street futures shot higher. Drastic measures continue to be enacted across Europe, which is now the epicentre of the coronavirus. France has this morning announced a complete lockdown of the country as cases skyrocket. Sarah Greenhalgh has more from Geneva.
Well, in a televised address to his nation, French President Emmanuel Macron has told his people, quote, "We are at war," announcing a full lockdown for the next 15 days following the lead of Italy and Spain. He's also announced that the government will be suspending all rent, taxes and household bills. Here in Switzerland, all non-essential shops and services are now closed. The army is on standby, the biggest mobilisation since World War II. Here in Geneva, where we are, it's home to so many headquarters of various organisations, the UN, the World Trade Organisation and the World Health Organisation. They have now said that this pandemic is the defining health crisis of our lifetime, saying governments around the world need to be testing and confirming coronavirus cases. Once they find them, they need to isolate them.
We cannot stop this pandemic if we don't know who is infected. We have a simple message for all countries: test, test, test.
In the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has urged against non-essential contact, telling people they shouldn't be going to pubs, clubs, theatres and cinemas, but stopping short of actually ordering those businesses to close. And in Italy, which remains the hardest hit European nation, another 349 people have died in the past 24 hours alone, taking the death toll well over 2,000.
And San Francisco is the latest major city to be forced into lockdown. As US Bureau Chief Ashley Mullaney reports, the escalating crisis may also have sparked a change in Donald Trump's message.
Good afternoon. We have seen a president far more direct and frank today, speaking about the threat of the coronavirus, saying this health crisis could last until July or August. Donald Trump is calling it an invisible enemy, saying America has 15 days to slow the spread of the virus, issuing White House guidelines today, urging all Americans to avoid groups of more than 10 people.
My administration is recommending that all Americans, including the young and healthy, work to engage in schooling from home when possible, avoid gathering in groups of more than 10 people, avoid discretionary travel, and avoid eating and drinking at bars, restaurants, and public food courts.
Now, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has also spoken today, announcing that he will be closing his country's border to foreign nationals, urging residents to return home as soon as they can. This certainly feels like a turning point, a critical crossroad for North America, with experts warning at this rate we are heading in the same direction as Italy.
We'll have the rest of the day's news ahead. The terrifying moment, 2 armed men held up a western suburbs bottle shop. Traffic chaos for southern suburbs commuters as another water main bursts. More than a dozen residents left homeless as fire tears through a unit block. An ambulance worker in tears as his district court trials delayed for months. And another ceiling collapse in Adelaide suburbs.
He stole his brother's wife.
I wanted to tell Ben that we slept together.
Now he's back for one more thing.
It's all becoming clear now why you're here. Money. If he finds out about us,
Then we better make sure he doesn't.
why do you feel like you have to blackmail me?
That's not how this is going to go.
Home and Away, weeknights at 7 on 7.
Hungry Jack's has burgers with no meat.
The Rebel Whopper has no beef? It tastes like a Whopper.
I got a vegan cheeseburger.
This is vegan, really?
It tastes so good.
Rebel Whopper and vegan cheeseburger, part of the new fresh choices at Hungry Jack's.
I've been living here for 3 years now. It's great having Amy around here too. She helps me plan my day. And she gives me the confidence to reach my own goals.
At Orana, we believe everyone has the right to live the life of their choice. That's why we create opportunities for people with disability to live as independently as possible. Visit oranaonline.com.au. Orana, creating opportunities.
In 300 metres, turn right. But if you're driving a T60, turn left. Who needs roads when you're driving a T60? You have 5-star safety and state-of-the-art technology. Use it. Your destination is on the left. Do you really want to stop? Didn't think so.
The LDV T60 Pro, now from $27,490 drive away. That's $1,500 off, and that's beaut. It's why more people are saying it's LDV for me.
Phones at the ready, it's time to bid, win, go with Travel Auctions. Check out our exclusive auction for today only. Stay up to 4 nights at the Kumiala Club Resort with daily continental breakfast, normally valued at $356. You name your price, there's no reserve, and if it lands in the top 50 bids, hello Mighty Murray. Phone now on 1300 656573 or SMS 0409 bid and bid, win, go.
Jenny Craig is here to help you lose weight the healthy way.
I lost 36 kilos and I honestly didn't think I would lose anywhere near that.
Join today with a free 8-week membership plus free food delivery. Cost of food additional. Call Jenny Craig now.
Construction has begun and all 3 Woolworths stores are seriously overstocked. I'm clearing over 1,000 items, like rugs from $10, pots from $15 and $20 prints. Plus clearance prices on furniture, floor stock, discontinued, even custom, lounges, recliners, beds, mattresses, timber and even outdoor. Remember, you can trade in your old furniture and we can even take it away. Woolworths, Mount Barker, Richmond and Tanunda.
Get the feeling you're not alone with 25% off spider treatments for your home.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Your kitchen is more than just a place where you prepare food. It's where family comes together, which is why having a great kitchen is so important. A Farquhar kitchen is where the latest innovations, quality craftsmanship and good times come together. Farquhar, bringing family and friends together.
2 bottle shop workers have been assaulted during terrifying robberies in the western suburbs. As Lauren Rose reports, an armed gang targeted 2 pubs within minutes.
One of the victims, a staff member here at the Charlotte Gardens Hotel at West Croydon, was forced to use trolleys as a barricade between himself and the thugs. A black four-wheel drive pulls up at the drive-through bottle shop just after 6:30 last night. Two masked men emerged. The second swings what looks like a meat cleaver at the attendant, drawing blood from his arm.
Not only brazen, it was just, he could have killed that staff member.
Meanwhile, his accomplice goes straight for the cash register. He's armed too, but the duo's greedy and want more. They cornered the victim in the stockroom, demanding access to a safe.
They're after the money. You know, they wanted more. They wanted the safe. That was what they were after. But there was no safe.
The bandits grab another till and drive away. Police say there was likely 4 suspects in the vehicle. They're all of Aboriginal appearance, under 30 years old and still on the run. 10 minutes earlier, they'd held up the Halfway Hotel at Beverley, where they'd injured a female employee. She sustained a head wound requiring treatment at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. 2 assaults less than 3 k's apart. The gang got away with more than $1,000 cash.
For the second time in just weeks, a burst mains causing traffic woes for southern suburbs commuters. Let's go live now to Gertie Sperling. And Gertie, the rupture's affecting a major intersection at St Mary's.
It is, Rosanna. It's very slow going here at the corner of Dawes and South Road, and it's only going to get worse as traffic builds ahead of this evening's peak. South Road is down to just 1 lane in either direction as crews work to repair the burst main. There are also no right-hand turns allowed onto Dawes Road from South Road. Westbound traffic on Dawes Road is facing restrictions and very lengthy delays too.
Yeah, very frustrating. Yeah, especially merging down here.
It's taken a bit of a while to get home today. Hopefully they can fix it quickly and open the roads back up.
I thought the roads would be quiet, but yeah, it's just happening all the time now, isn't it?
It's the second rupture along this busy stretch of South Road in about a month. Last time, several businesses were left thousands of dollars out of pocket as access in and out of stores was limited. If you can, best to avoid the area and plan an alternative route home, as there's no word yet on when the repairs will be complete. Rosanna?
Thanks, Gertie. A couple had to be treated by paramedics after a terrifying blaze tore through their apartment block. Neighbours frantically rushed to help, fearing other residents may have been trapped. Tim Yateman was there.
Residents in this Birkenhead unit complex ran for their lives when the fire erupted yesterday evening. The couple who lives in this unit made it out just in time. This is Clint and Nicole, just seconds after the fire took hold, visibly distressed. Within a few minutes, their unit was engulfed in a ferocious blaze. Neighbours dashed from their properties worried someone was trapped.
Anyone else in there? Flames were literally like roaring like an inferno out of the windows and that, and there was already glass like blown out. Like it was massive.
There was, of course, a lot of people yelling and started yelling at everybody and knocking on everybody's doors.
Firefighters raced to the scene, crews quickly getting to work from the ground and above. Local residents were told to keep their distance after it was discovered the complex contained asbestos. The MFS managed to stop the flames spreading to adjoining units. The couple returned to the complex today to survey the damage. Sadly, they've been left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Other residents too have been left homeless after several other units were badly damaged by smoke and water.
Oh no, that's bad news. I used to know everybody in there once.
Damage has been estimated at $200,000.
An ambulance officer has broken down in tears in court after his trial was delayed because of the coronavirus. Matthew McLean is charged with causing the death by dangerous driving while he was transporting an obese patient from Port Pirie to Adelaide almost 4 years ago. Mr McLean's trial has been delayed until October after the court suspended all new trials in the district court until at least May.
He's got 4 young children who every day worry about their father going to jail. It's a terrible circumstance.
Mr McLean and his partner were 8 hours into a 12-hour shift when the crash happened. Assessors are still trying to determine what caused yet another ceiling to collapse last night, this time at Woodville Gardens. One of the tenants was sitting in the living room when the gyprock gave way. Andrea Nicholas has more.
After living here on Liberty Grove for almost 2 decades, the tenants have to find a new place to stay after assessors this morning deemed the property to be unsafe. Just before 7 o'clock last night, Ronald Malthouse had been watching TV in the living room when, without warning, the ceiling gave way.
And I looked up and I thought, what in the flying death? I thought it was an earthquake. And next thing you know, the whole ceiling's just starting to come down.
Fortunately, he wasn't hurt and his wife Lisa was safe in another room. But the incident left him rattled.
I feel bloody terrible. I feel shaken up the buggery.
And without a place to stay. They rent this property from Anglicare.
Without a house, you're buggered. And it looks like we haven't got one for a while.
It's the latest in a spate of ceiling collapses across Adelaide, but the others had a common thread. The gyprock was adhered with orange glue made by Boral. In this case, the glue was yellow. Anglicare's assessors are working to determine the cause, but in a statement, the charity told 7 News no previous issues had been identified at the property. Anglicare says it's trying to find them other accommodation.
But I have an old dog and 4 cats and they're going to try to find somewhere that can take them.
While in this case, the family says there was no warning. Anyone with signs of water damage or buckling on their ceiling should get it checked.
And now let's check in with Nikki on what's coming up in sport. Nikki?
Well, Rosanna, 2 days out from the scheduled start of the AFL season, clubs are still unclear about whether it'll go ahead as the players continue training. League power brokers have been in meetings all day talking about what a revised 17-game season would look like, and a decision has to be made shortly. Plus, we meet one of Adelaide United's most passionate fans who's finally added the finishing touch to her own unique piece of A-League memorabilia. Michael Moroney, he played a big part in that. I'll see you in sport, Rosanna.
Certainly will. Thank you, Nikki. Also to come on 7's afternoon news, jail for a woman who blackmailed the parents of a dying baby girl. Israel's government deadlock, the sensational development set to end Netanyahu's reign, the robots helping nursing home residents in quarantine, and later an Aussie breakthrough, our researchers at the forefront of a coronavirus vaccine.
Coronavirus money advice. From super to selling a house, the vital tips to keep your money safe. On Sunrise tomorrow.
Bread is a part of life, so why not make life poppier, crustier, pumpkinier, down to the very last crumb. Abbott's Village Bakery. Every bit better.
Here's a simple choice. Keep giving thousands of dollars to your power company year after year, or give your lifestyle a boost with that money. It's time to call Sunboost, Australia's largest solar company.
If you're looking to reduce cost of living pressure, call Sunboost today. Australia's only solar company with over 1,500 5-star ratings on productreview.com.au. Install a bill-busting 6.6 kilowatt premium system for just $39.91 and start saving from day one. Stocks are limited. Call 1300 Sunboost.
You're a tough guy, like you're really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always so puff guy. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type. I'm the bad guy.
Seltos.
Duh.
Convicted drink drivers get a police record for at least 10 years. When applying for a travel visa, you may need to declare your criminal conviction. And where could that leave you? Nice move, brown horse.
At Spotlight, we believe life's what you make it. And that things don't have to cost a lot to mean a lot. Because the more love, care and flair you put into something, the more you get out of it. To the homebodies and house proud, we say there should be a little bit of you in everything you do. So we're here to help you decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. All backed by our bargain guarantee. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
You might see her miss out on the excursion, but you don't see her parents struggling to make ends meet. You might see her worn-out uniform, but you don't see her hiding because she doesn't fit in. You might see her losing confidence, but you don't know how hard she's trying. For children in poverty, every day can be overwhelming. Amy has almost nothing left to give. Do you? Please sponsor an Australian child today. Search the Smith family.
Phones at the ready, it's time to bid, win, go with Travel Auctions. Check out our exclusive auction for today only. Stay up to 4 nights at the Kumiala Club Resort with daily continental breakfast, normally valued at $356. You name your price, there's no reserve. And if it lands in the top 50 bids, hello Mighty Murray. Phone now on 1300 656573 or SMS 0409 BID and bid, win, go.
Joe from Victoria chose Beaumonts and got all this for under $9,000. Choose Beaumonts and get a kitchen splashback from just $100 or tile a huge family room starting from just $899. Choose Beaumonts Mad March specials and save heaps.
A heartless blackmailer has been jailed after she terrorised the Melbourne parents of a dying baby. The Malaysian national claimed she'd found their phone full of precious photos and demanded money while threatening to erase it. Chanel Vella was in court.
County Court Judge Elizabeth Gaynor made it very clear in her sentence that Siti Kamal's actions were so immoral. The only punishment suitable was jail time. The 25-year-old saw a public plea by parents Jay and Dee Windross, who'd lost their phone full of photos of their baby daughter Amaya, who was dying. Dee had been to Chanston Shopping Centre. She left her phone in a toilet. When she ran back 45 seconds later, it was gone. Siti Kamal saw the devastated parents make their appeal and pretended to have the phone. While baby Amaya lay dying in their arms in hospital, Kamal was harassing them with a barrage of texts demanding $1,000 for its return. She told Mr Windross if he did not pay, she would erase the phone. As he tried to take in his daughter's last breaths, he was also dealing with Kamal. Today, Judge Elizabeth Gaynor jailed Kamal for 3 years with a minimum of 2. She's already served almost a year.
If you still have my phone, give it back to me.
Yeah. Just want the phone back.
Just give it back.
Kamal will be deported on completion of her sentence.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's reign is teetering, with his rival Benny Gantz given the green light to form government. After 3 general elections in the space of a year, Netanyahu declared victory this month despite another deadlock. Gantz now has 28 days to assemble a coalition. Adding to the confusion, the coronavirus outbreak has seen the PM's corruption trial postponed, while the new parliament was sworn in 3 at a time due to a limit on public gatherings. Despite Italy's major health crisis, the water in Venice has never looked cleaner. With the country in lockdown, canals have been cleared of boats, leaving the water transparent enough that even fish are visible. A rare ray of light for residents as coronavirus cases continue to soar across that nation. And video calling robots are being rolled out in Belgian nursing homes after the government banned visitors to shield the elderly from coronavirus.
I am excited that I will be put to use in elderly care facilities to fight against loneliness in these times of corona.
The butler-style robots can be programmed to self-navigate to a resident's room and connect a video call. And still to come on 7's Afternoon News, we'll cross live for the latest on the share market. Also coming up, Australian researchers make a breakthrough discovery in the race for a coronavirus vaccine. And Tom Hanks released from a Gold Coast hospital after his diagnosis.
How's those tigers? If he doesn't get in the All-Australian team this year on that sort of form, and I guarantee you, he'll replicate that form this year. Who's playing that piano? Call me a cab.
This feels right.
Yep, it's good to be home. And touch the peanuts.
The Front Bar, Wednesday, 8:30 on 7.
We believe a well-prepared funeral nourishes the soul. Harrison Funerals have been trusted by South Australians for 90 years. Professionalism and first-class care are the hallmark of Harrison Funerals. Celebrate life and nurture precious family memories. Harrison Funerals, providing a beautiful farewell.
Have you considered moving to an affordable country lifestyle estate? Enjoy the benefits of being in a private and secure environment with a home that's easily maintained. With 2 spacious home designs available, you can live the lifestyle you deserve for over 55-year-olds. Offering a huge range of resort-style facilities and services, you'll love being a part of this vibrant community. Contact our friendly staff and find out how you can make the move today. Woodlands Grove, enjoying the journey.
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please.
Your change.
Happy birthday, Mum.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Biggest brands, best prices, like reverse cycle roomies from $4.99, inverter splits from only $5.49, or replacement ducted units from just $24.90. Air conditioning, warehouse sales, Salisbury, Richmond and Lonsdale. Airwaresales.com.au.
Belonging. It's funny how we all seem to need it so much. To belong to someone, to the system, an ideal, a hierarchy, a version of reality. You're not a jigsaw piece. Fit with what fits you. The Two Grand Coupe. Because...
Acorn stair lifts are the most cost-effective way to retain your independence. And Acorn's fast-track installation means minimal disruption and no need for custom rails. Call for a free on-site consultation or visit acornstairlifts.com.au.
At Priceline, Festival of You is all about celebrating you. Enjoy an at-home facial with the new Manicare Nova Fit Face Massager. For personalised advice and big brand savings, discover Festival of You. On now at Priceline.
Welcome back to 7's Afternoon News. Now let's recap our top stories. 2 more cases have been confirmed. Schools are locked down over coronavirus fears as others implement stay-at-home learning plans. This year's Anzac Day march has been cancelled and dawn services will be held without members of the public. And a worker's been injured after 2 armed men held up a Western Suburbs bottle shop, their second robbery within minutes. Australian researchers have made an early breakthrough in the race to produce a COVID-19 vaccine. Estelle Grieping is in Melbourne, where scientists have used samples from local patients to help their research.
Good afternoon. Well, this is an exciting breakthrough in the race to find a vaccine for coronavirus, with researchers here in Melbourne finding a little bit more about just how the body can actually fight off COVID-19. Researchers from the Doherty Institute have been mapping the way the body responds to COVID-19 and have found that healthy people can fight off mild to moderate cases in 3 days. They say this is very good news because it shows our immune systems are capable of fighting off the virus, despite it being so new.
It is exciting because our body is actually doing what we're hoping that a body would do in these kind of situations, basically fight back, even if it's new.
In research published today, the scientists revealed they've studied the blood of 5 of Melbourne's first coronavirus patients and found that each patient's body recruited antibodies to successfully defeat the infection. It's hoped further study into how these antibodies work could lead to new therapies or even a vaccine.
I think we know much more than we knew 2 months ago, and lots of research labs are working really hard and there is progress.
Meanwhile, the first human trial of a potential coronavirus vaccine is set to begin in the US. A group of 45 healthy volunteers will have the jab at a research facility in Seattle over the next 6 weeks. But experts say that will take a number of months before it's known if that vaccine will work.
And Hollywood actor Tom Hanks has been discharged from a Gold Coast hospital after testing positive to coronavirus. Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson took to Instagram last week to share the news of their shock diagnosis. Hanks was in Queensland working on a Baz Luhrmann Elvis biopic. Let's check finance now with Tom Petrovski at CommSec. Good afternoon, Tom. So there was some relief for investors today at least?
Well, it's actually a relief to be able to report some better news, Rosanna. Today, the market had a very healthy recovery. It was up by 5.8%, but then, of course, that came on the heels of the worst day ever for the ASX 200 yesterday, when it was down by the most part of 10%. So this is going to be a process, and probably a drawn-out one, as investors get to grips with a range of factors, not least of what economic fallout we're going to be dealing with over the course of the months and quarters ahead. But banks are overwhelmingly responsible for the lift in the market today. The ANZ and CBA were up by about 12%. Miners also did quite well on the back of the weakness that we saw yesterday. So BHP was up by around 13% today. And the ability of markets to respond to some positive news as well is welcome. So Select Harvest was an example of that. The almond grower had an encouraging update today and the stock finished up by around 15%. The Aussie dollar is still under the pump. It's trading closer to 61 US cents tonight.
All round a little bit better. Thank you so much, Tom. Now, this is quite extraordinary, Nikki. We're 2 days out from the start of the AFL season and still no decision. What is going on?
It's incredible, isn't it? Well, the AFL Players Association boss has just spoken. He says if it's up to the players, they want to get the season underway this weekend and they want a full 22-round comp. So the AFL power brokers, they have such a big decision to make very shortly. Also coming up, the Crows share the precautions that their players have been taking during such uncertain times, and how the Reds fans honoured the 2016 King of Australian Soccer with a personalised throne.
Footy is back, bigger than ever. The Tigers kick it all off against a blue squad betting on an upset.
Look at Eddie Betts!
Then Dogs and Magpies go head-to-head in a Friday night blockbuster. Next Saturday, the Crows host the Swans live at 4. Then Port Adelaide on the Gold Coast. Thursday night footy headlines the biggest opening round ever. Live and free on 7.
Meaning. We search for it our entire lives. The meaning in our existence. Work. Beliefs. Relationships. We're consumed by a need to find it. But it's when we stop searching and start feeling. Suddenly it's there, the two-grown coupe, because...
Now's the time to get outdoor blinds from Australian Outdoor Living's Choose Your Own sale. For the first time ever, you can choose from 3 amazing offers. Get better protection while entertaining your family and friends outdoors all year round. Control using your voice or phone, even when you're not at home, with our range of smart blinds. Make the right choice with outdoor blinds from Australian Outdoor Living.
Australian Outdoor Living.
Are you living with a particular health condition? Do you need help getting out of your chair? The Posture Chair Company has the perfect solution for your needs. Each chair is made to measure and built to support your whole body. Handcrafted right here on our Adelaide premises and backed by our 100% comfort guarantee. Call now and book a free in-home measure and save $400 on your tailor-made recliner. Or visit our showroom and find a chair that suits your needs. The Posture Chair Company.
I love getting dressed up, but I also love the confidence of wearing no makeup. Nature's Way Beauty Collagen with Virasol works from within to help enhance collagen formation, helping improve skin firmness and support elasticity. My skin is nourished from the inside out as part of my beauty regime, giving me the confidence of healthy, glowing skin naturally. Try Nature's Way Beauty Collagen, on sale this week at Chemist Warehouse.
Total Tools Supercharged Catalogue out now. HRD 5-drawer trolley, a low $449. Iron Air compressor, now only $399. Total Tools, low prices on every tool for every trade, guaranteed.
The Australian Outdoor Living sale is on now. Be quick to secure your realistic artificial grass, extensively tested and expertly installed. Enjoy a perfect lawn all year round with artificial grass.
They're out to wipe the smile off the super nerd's face. New The Chase, weekdays at 5 on 7.
Hello again. Well, AFL power brokers have been in meetings all day about whether the season will get underway later this week. All players have been asked for feedback about how they'd like to see the season structured, and the overwhelming majority want to play this weekend. The immediate future of the AFLW competition is also up in the air. Crows co-captain Erin Phillips voted for the top team in each conference to play off in a grand final this weekend. Phillips also sent a scare through the Crows camp after she woke up with a sore sore throat, but she didn't meet the criteria to be tested for coronavirus. Collingwood skipper Scott Pendlebury is also in the clear after tests for the virus came back negative. And as clubs around the country take precautions to reduce the players' risk, the Crows have given us an insight into how the corona crisis is affecting their day-to-day activities.
This is how football's going to look for at least the next few months. Taken inside life at Westlakes as the Crows live-streamed training for fans, quarantined or not.
It is different, isn't it, Locke? But we've got to look at ways we can keep our fans engaged. Hope you're all enjoying it at home.
Not quite TV show host material just yet, Big Tex, but you get the idea. It is indeed different, but it's how things are going to be to limit access to players and keep them healthy. It's a common sense call, but different nonetheless.
Yeah, a little bit strange. I think everyone was looking forward to playing some games.
Keep a metre away, actually.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
And more precautions are being taken.
Obviously getting our temperatures checked every day, heart rate, just to see if there's any fluctuation with that.
It'll be a strange week for Rory Sloane, celebrating his 30th birthday today with an elbow bump or two and a milestone 200th game approaching, set to be played in the future in front of no fans. Players trained in smaller groups, preparing for business as usual.
It's about now looking after our players, and that's number one, is the health of our players and our football department. So we put a lot of things in place as far as looking after that group and making sure that we're ready to go for a game on Saturday.
And we'll have more from Coach Matthew Nicks and his take on the new world of football tonight at 6. Theo Doropoulos, 7 News.
Well, New South Wales has been declared the Sheffield Shield champion, with Cricket Australia calling for all competitions to be cancelled. The final round of the Shield had already been called off. Now the final has also been scrapped due to coronavirus, with the Blues awarded the title for finishing top of the ladder. All future cricket's in doubt.
Our hope is that we're back in very much normal circumstances come October, November, when the Men's T20 World Cup is to be played.
Cricket Australia instructed all club and amateur cricket to stop around the country. Well, basketball now, and the NBL Grand Final series has been cancelled after the Sydney Kings chose not to continue playing due to player welfare and social responsibility. The club held meetings with players today and were due to travel to Perth for Game 4 on Friday night.
It makes me very proud that the decision was made to reflect the fact that our competitive desires are well and truly secondary.
The Wildcats led the series 2-1. The league says a decision on who will be crowned champion will be made within 48 hours. And while Oakbank will go ahead with no spectators for the first time in 59 years, there'll be no surfing contest at Bells Beach this Easter. The World Surf League has extended its suspension of all tour contests through to the end of May, which cancels both Bells Beach and the Margaret River World Tour events. The Jeff Horn-Tim Tszyu boxing match set for April 22 in Townsville was also called off this morning, only 24 hours after promoters insisted it would go ahead and started selling tickets. Formula One World Champion Lewis Hamilton has made the most of the Australian Grand Prix being cancelled. Hamilton posted on social media that he was practising his surfing at Melbourne's urban surf park due to the coronavirus. Formula One has been postponed for the next 3 races and hoping to start the season in Europe at the end of May. Well, let's finish sport now on a lighter note. Adelaide United defender Michael Baroni has put the finishing touches on a unique piece of Reds memorabilia. One of the club's biggest fans has flown home from Germany with her very own replica of the A-League trophy.
It was designed to mirror the Olympic wreath, but A-League fans chose a very different nickname for the biggest prize in Australian soccer.
The A-League trophy looks a little bit like a toilet seat. So I think years and years and years ago, some fans decided that it would be smart to bring toilet seats along to the ground. And since then, it's been known as the toilet seat to a lot of the A-League fans.
Peter was at the first ever Reds game in 2003 and even continued to watch every United game after she moved to Germany in 2015. The only visit she's had back home since? A 5-day trip to witness Adelaide's historic grand final triumph a year later.
So last time I was here in Australia, 2016, we won. and I got my entire toilet seat signed by every single player that played except Moroney, because unfortunately he had an injury. So I've waited 4 years, and today I finally got it signed by Moroney here.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe here,
wherever you want.
Wherever you think's easiest.
I reckon up there is good.
The signature, one of the most bizarre requests of Moroney's career.
Got a few photos with toilet seats, but yeah, I'd never signed one, I don't think.
She purchased the seat especially for the final, and it's now the centrepiece of her home decorations.
So I keep it in my lounge room, and we put it above the door. So when we have dinner parties, we get a lot of people asking, what's that?
The Reds have a bye this weekend, and at this stage are still expecting to be back in action against Melbourne City next Friday. Lucas Rinaldo, 7 News.
So that's our sport. Good on Michael Moroney for sharing the love there, signing a toilet
Absolutely,
seat.
but I'm not sure about travelling the world with a toilet seat in your suitcase.
Yes, I wonder what they thought when they inspected that
reckon.
suitcase. Pretty unique memorabilia.
It certainly is. Thank you so much, Nikki. Do stay with us. We'll see how the roads are looking this afternoon. Also coming up, with an aquarium closed, these adorable penguins are free to explore. And Amelia will have the latest weather forecast.
Hey, Mum, guess what? George and I are going on a TV show.
You might find nice 2 girls on the show.
The renovation show, Mum, not a dating show.
Now, these 2 boys are all grown up and finally leaving home.
This is my place.
But do they have the skills to cut it on house rules?
They wanted luxury and glamour. You got luxury and glamour.
Couple of bachelors, and yet this seems very sophisticated.
But could these boys grow up to become house rules champions?
They are a team to watch.
TV's most inspiring home reveals. Welcome to High Stakes, this April on 7.
My perfect bowl is with Mum, of course.
Dad, can you give me some?
Tell me what you think. If I didn't share with my mum, it would not be my perfect bowl. Oh.
Come and meet the team at Knowles Island Star. Real enthusiasts with first-hand experience. They don't just sell the dream, they live it. And you'll love the way they do business.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
At Better Blinds, for a limited time, you can buy 2 roller blinds and get 1 free. Buy 2 outdoor awnings and get 1 free. Buy 2 roller shutters and get 1 free. Buy 2 timber Venetians and get 1 free. Buy 2, get 1 free. Only at Better Blinds for a limited time.
Going to My Budget allowed us to pay our debts. We didn't have to consolidate any loans. They negotiated for us payment arrangements, and it allowed us to get back on top of things. And now we're looking for how to spend our savings.
Live your life free from money worries. Call My Budget today or visit mybudget.com.au.
Great Wall's 2019 plate clearance is now on. Get a brand new petrol dual cab or diesel single cab with a free tray and 5-year warranty from only $19,990. From just $19,990 drive away. Test drive today at Adelaide City Great Wall.
CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. Get full and defined lashes in one coat. This is drama. Exhibitionist Mascara. And try new Exhibitionist Uncensored from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
Look at the super nerd up there.
Hello, team. Hello.
Smiling away, thinking he's got this in the bag.
I love it.
Well, guess what, nerdy? They're out to wipe that smile off your face.
Oh.
New The Chase, weekdays at 5 on 7.
G'day there, Andy Stewart checking in run home, and a burst water main in St Mary's, South Road, Dawes Road, down to 1 lane in both directions, and southbound on South Road, absolutely crawling. Goodwood Road is probably a best alternative because Marion Road absolutely chockers from Bedford Park all the way back to the airport, believe it or not. At Mortgage Choice, they compare hundreds of home loans and provide expert advice at no cost to you. Make your home loan application a success by letting them do it all for you. Visit mortgagechoice.com.au. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Andy. Now, if you need some cheering up, this video is sure to do it. This aquarium in Chicago might be close to humans, but these penguins have been happily exploring the building and getting to know their fellow marine life. It's the aquarium's way to keep the penguins active while it's closed to visitors during the coronavirus outbreak. What sweet little things. I think we should get some in our newsroom, Amelia.
Rosanna, I think we should, and we could certainly do with some brightening up, especially considering the cloud that's pushed across this afternoon. It is still warm though. It's thanks to northerly winds, and they've been fresh at times about the city today. Our top was 32.6 degrees, and it comes after a hot night. We stayed above 22.2 degrees. Right now, still warm in the city, 31. It's currently 27 in Melbourne, and Hobart's not far behind either at 26. There has been the odd sprinkle over Sydney today and cool onshore winds, while in the west, a line of showers is just moving towards Perth right about now as a cold front approaches the coast there. Our warm weather is thanks to two systems, a strong high pressure system that's sitting here over the Tasman. It's been drawing heat from the north down, and an approaching trough is bumping up those northerly winds as well before it delivers a cooler southerly change later in the week. So for now, expect temperatures in the mid to high 30s across our far north tomorrow. Oak Valley, a community about 1,000 k's northwest of Adelaide, is set to hit 44. We could see the odd shower about western and southern coasts, and freshening winds will whip up dust about our western districts as well, including in Ceduna. 40's the forecast top there. 33 for Port Lincoln, 37 for Port Augusta, 35 for Kadina and for Nuriutpa, 31 for Victor Harbour and for Mount Gambier, 38 for Murray Bridge, and 36 degrees for Renmark. Now, because of the forecast with that approaching change, total fire bans have been declared for the west coast tomorrow, and winds will be strong about the coast there as well if you're heading out on the water. In the city, and we've got another warm night ahead, down to 22 degrees, and we should see some sunshine hopefully. 33 is the forecast top. Thursday's looking warm as well. Then we've got another mild weekend, but for now, Rosanna, some very balmy nights. Might have to light that barbecue tonight, I think.
Sounds good to me. 33 sounds lovely. Thank you so much, Amelia. And that's all from the afternoon news team. Of course, Jane will have our next bulletin at 6 from me. It's bye for now.
Ash Barty playing in the green and gold. I want to be there when that happens.
Sam Kerr scoring for the Matildas.
What a start for the Aussies!
I want to be there when that happens.
Jess Fox chasing history.
She charges to the line.
I want to be there when that happens.
Simone Biles doing something no one has ever done before. I want to be there when that happens.
Boomers playing the dream team for gold.
Fancy footwork in the finish.
I'm going to be there when it happens.
Matt Glaetzer beating cancer and beating the world for a medal.
He gets redemption in the end.
I want to be there when that happens.
The women's rugby winning back-to-back gold medals.
Scenes of utter joy.
I want to be there when that happens.
5 new sports. Surfing at the Olympics. Steph Gilmore's going to be there. Sally Fitzgibbons, are you kidding? Rock climbing. I want to be there when that happens.
And my sport, BMX freestyle. I want you to be there.
Hearing that sweet sound.
And they break the world record.
I want to be there when that happens.
Tokyo's going to be incredible.
Inspirational.
Epic. The greatest event you'll ever see.
You want to be there when that happens.
Tokyo 2020.
You can be there on 7.
7, home of the Olympics.
These 4 strangers must work as a team to win thousands of dollars. But standing in their way is one of the sharpest minds in Australia.